So, guys, this is a class on how to navigate through social situations while on your fat loss journey. So, I know a lot of you guys, you like to go out with your friends and you always have questions about, like, oh, what should I eat? What should I do? How am I going to tackle this on the weekend in order to, and still be on my fat loss journey? So just keep in mind, like, one weekend is not going to derail you from your fat loss journey. What's going to derail you is pretty much you just quitting everything after that, and pushing everything aside. For example, like when people go on vacation, they're out of their routine for like a whole week or two, and then they're used to the same things they do in vacation. So once they get back home from vacation, it's so hard to get back into your normal routine. So it's kind of like the same thing for the weekends where it's like a tiny vacation. But that's no excuse to push aside your fat loss journey. One day is nothing. Okay. So, anyways, you're probably here because you're struggling with social gatherings and food focused environments. So this is when you feel stressed about like attending social gatherings, dining out, and celebrating like parties and stuff. So also, this is for you. If you've been torn about wanting to stay on track with your fat loss goals and the temptation of eating what's available at social events. Um, and also, this is also for you if you are just maybe you feel guilty after indulging in a treat, after a celebration, or that one event that throws you off your whole routine. It is a normal challenge, but it doesn't have to derail you from your progress. So by the end of this whole masterclass, you'll be able to have actionable tools and strategies to stay aligned with your goals. So even during social situations, whether it be a holiday dinner, a night out with your friends, a family celebration, um, we'll show you how to enjoy that moment without feeling like you've compromised on your health in fitness goals. So, just to clear everything up, the hardest thing, so when you're on a fat loss journey, one of the most difficult aspects isn't just sticking to the meals or your regular workouts. It's committing to the habits that will sustain your progress long term, um, over this journey, right? So the hardest part isn't the workouts or the meal, it's committing to these new habits long term. Okay. For example, like you can have a day where you eat well, you work out, super easy. But then the hardest part is just like doing that every day for years. Okay. And then social situations are going to challenge your ability to stick to those healthy habits, of course, right? Because food is often the center of this socialization. So it's easy to feel like you're missing out when you're around, when everyone's around you, indulging, and maybe you're tempted to skip your healthy routine when others are eating things that don't really align with your goals. Okay, so how do you navigate and stay aligned with your goals? So we're just gonna dive in real quick. Grab a pen and paper and take notes, and let's get to it. So here's 5 things you can do. So number one is to plan ahead. So the best way to set yourself up for success is to plan ahead, of course. So planning ahead is going to give you control and confidence, so you're not left scrambling when you're faced with the food options that don't fit with your goals. So if you're attending a dinner party or going out to eat, um, take a moment to research the menu or ask the host like what will be served. Like you can always substitute anything with something healthier, right? So by doing so, you're going to identify the healthy options, or you can like request, like I said, a modification that's going to suit your needs. Like instead of frying chicken, so instead of a fried chicken, you can sub that for grilled chicken instead. Instead of having fries as your side, you can sub that out for a salad or more salad, right? So if you're tending a, a potluck or a gathering where you're responsible for bringing food, make sure you bring um, a healthy dish that suits your fat loss goals. So this way you'll have a go-to option and you'll feel more in control. So for me, for example, I like to bring something super easy, which is honestly just fruits and Diet Coke. So Diet Coke, 0 calories, right? Fruits, um, I bring that as a dessert, and it always gets finished for some reason, right? So fruits are a good snack, and they're really good to bring for a potluck, and they're super easy to make, and they're cheap. So if you're headed to a social event where food will be abundant, you can try this. You can try eating a light, balanced meal before. So that's going to help you resist the temptation to overeat when you get there, right? So you won't be arriving hungry and making decisions from a place of desperation. Because usually when you're hungry, you're going to eat whatever's like available to you because you're super hungry, you need something to eat. I'm going to take the closest thing that's available, right? So if you go into, let's say, a dinner and you already ate a healthy meal before that, you're obviously going to eat less at the dinner when you're eating out. And then you're going to feel more confident knowing that you came into that dinner eating something healthy that you made at home. So number 2 is to set boundaries for yourself. So this is essential to protect your fat loss goals. So while social events may offer a wide array of tempting foods, you can decide what works best for your body and your goals. And it's okay to politely decline food or drinks that don't align with your plan. You honestly have to practice saying, no, thank you, or I'm full, thank you, with confidence and without guilt. So you don't need long explanations. Simple and firm boundaries work the best. So another boundary is, of course, alcohol consumption. It can be easy to indulge, but alcohol can really derail your fat loss progress by adding more calories, affecting your decision making, but also it's going to slow down the metabolism of um, muscle growth. So deciding beforehand how much you'll drink, um, if at all, is going to stick to your plan. When you choose a drink, have a glass of water in between each drink. And also, I would stick with um, spirits chased with like a Diet Coke or anything 0 calorie. I would stay away from beer because, of course, it's high calories. Um, one glass of beer is usually around 8 slices of bread. So if you are wanting to drink alcohol, I would stick to um, low calorie chasers like Diet Coke, Diet Ginger Ale, 0 calorie, whatever. And then I would just stick with spirits. Oh, and also like make sure you're drinking a lot of water in between because you want to make sure that you don't have a hangover the next day. So usually when I go out for drinks, at the end of the night, I just chug a lot of water so that I don't get a hangover the next day. The reason why we don't want a hangover the next day is because when you have a hangover, you're going to feel absolutely sick. And that's going to prevent you from doing anything the next day. And it's going to make you rest the whole day, which means no workouts, no walking. You're probably going to eat like crap um, which is not aligned with your goals, of course, right? So we want to make like avoid a hangover at all costs. So I would chug a lot of water in between, in between drinks, or just before you go to bed. I chug like a whole bottle of water. So number three is you want to practice mindful eating. So this seems like a very holistic point of view, but it's worked for me. Mindful eating is a powerful tool that allows you to enjoy your food and the experience of eating without overindulging. So instead of mindlessly grazing and rushing your food, slow down. You want to pay attention to the flavors, the textures, the smell of your food, how it feels in your mouth, right? Taking small bites, chewing thoroughly, and savoring each bite is a simple practice that's going to help you feel more satisfied with smaller portions as you're more in tune with your body's hunger cues, right? Because as we've learned before, it takes 20 minutes to for your body to actually realize you're full. So the slower and mindful, like the slower you eat and the more mindful you eat is going to make you more in tune with your body, and it's going to prevent you from eating larger portions. So especially if you are trying to lose weight, you want to eat slower. You don't want to eat fast. Because if you eat fast, your body's not going to catch up to you and realize, oh, you're full. So nice and slow, embrace every bite, how it feels in your mouth, how it tastes, and also like when you're eating out with people, focus on enjoying the conversation rather than the food as well. Like you want to be present as well, and you're going to be more likely to, or it's going to be less likely to overeat when you're distracted by um, people, right? So number four is as I was just talking about, you want to focus on the social aspect. Remember, you're not there for the food; you're there for the experience with your friends. Okay, because people tend to just go in there. Oh, I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna eat that. Um, think of it like a time like, oh, this is gonna make more memories in my memory box in my head with my friends. Because a lot of people nowadays are foodies. We want to focus more on like stuff that's going to really matter for the rest of your life. So like memories with your friends. Again, it's easy to get caught up on food at social events, but remember the primary reason why we're attending this event or this social gathering or this dinner is to connect with others, right? So you want to shift your focus from food to the people around you. So you want to engage more in meaningful conversations, or participate in activities that don't even revolve around food or eating. So these meaningful conversations, for example, are going to, as I said earlier, distract you from like the actual food, which is going to cause you to eat smaller portions. And also, like, um, you can focus on more activities that involve more physical activity, right? With friends. So something like you could try a dance class, or bouldering, or maybe a hike, or karaoke, right? So something that doesn't involve too much food. So this shift in focus can reduce the urge to overeat, and it's going to make the event more enjoyable and fulfilling overall. Again, you're there to create memories and enjoy the company, not just the food. So by making the social experience your priority, you'll find that you're able to make healthier food choices and still have a great time. And number five is you don't want to let one aspect derail you. So one meal or treat is not going to define your progress. So if you slip up, get back on track immediately with a healthy meal, of course. So it's important that one indulgent meal or drink doesn't have to ruin your progress. You're only letting it ruin your progress if you allow it to, right? So everyone slips up sometimes, which is totally fine. That's okay. What matters is how you respond, right? So if you eat more than you intended to, don't let guilt take over. Instead of feeling defeated, take action and get back on track right away. Like as I said before, you want to get back to regular programming after something like that. Okay. So make sure you drink a lot of water, eat a healthy meal, and resume your usual routine after that time of indulging. So remember that your journey is about consistency, not perfection. We're not perfect. This is called a journey for a reason. It's going to be hard and it's long. And then there are going to be times where you fall, but then right when you fall is when you should learn you should get back up. But if you just want to fall, that's fine, but you're not going to go anywhere, right? So every meal, even if it's like an indulging meal, is an opportunity for you to make a better choice after. And every event is a chance to practice these skills. So one slip up is only a minor setback. It is not a failure. People tend to like fail and then they just give up. But in like if you're in my program, I didn't let you in my program just because you're like that. I let you in my program because you're an absolute trooper and I know that you can hop back up again into the normal routine. It's not that hard. So the biggest recap of, or sorry, the biggest takeaways in this call are here. So, social situations don't have to derail you from your fat loss progress. Make sure you plan ahead, set boundaries, and stay focused so you can enjoy these social events without guilt. And remember that long-term habits are the key to fat loss success, right? So staying on track with your fat loss journey while enjoying situations is absolutely possible. It's all about balance. It's about planning. It's about making mindful decisions. So by preparing ahead of time, setting boundaries, staying active, and focusing on the social experience, you can navigate any gathering without derailing your progress. So remember, your fat loss journey is not a sprint; it's a marathon, right? So it's not just like a 10-second thing, boom. A marathon is a long ass thing where there are going to be times where you kind of like feel like quitting, but you shouldn't quit. You have to finish. So again, it's about just developing sustainable habits that work for your lifestyle. Um, and with these tools from this masterclass, you'll be equipped to handle social situations with confidence and ease. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I made this because I know a lot of you guys talk about going out a lot. A lot of my clients that are females talk about like how they always have dinners. They're around 20 to 30 years old, and then they always talk about dinners and stuff with friends, and that's how people socialize nowadays. And I feel like I had to make this to help everyone in the team. Okay, so if you feel stuck and you're not seeing any progress, DM me personally on Instagram, and I'm gonna make you unstuck. Okay, and again, if you want to succeed in this program, again, the more you communicate with me, the more you do your check-ins, um, the more you do the doable game plan each week, you're gonna get closer to your goal. But if you're not really communicating with me, I'm just gonna assume that you're doing all the things I tell you to do. Okay. And if you're not seeing results, it's probably because you're not doing the things, right? So if you feel stuck, DM me personally on Instagram or Telegram, and I'll get back to you. And yeah, anyways, have a good week. I hope this helped. Peace.